ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं
आदं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्ताय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Shruti itself tells us, while what you have to understand is the nature of the self as the Advitiya Brahman. But you cannot do it on your own. You have to first recognize Jagat Karanam Brahma as Ishvara. And with Ishvara's anugraha, with Ishvara's help, we move on to the state where we can understand the Tattva Bhavaha. But Ishvara anugraha is, you cannot do without. Therefore, we always start with Dvaitam, because the moment you say Ishvara and I, is Dvaitam. And from there, from that Dvaitam state, you understand Advaitam. And Shastra itself told us this so clearly. What then can prevent this from happening? What can prevent our recognizing Saguna Brahman as Jagat Karanam? What can prevent us from recognizing that everything in the Jagat is nothing but Ishvara? What can prevent us from accepting that Ishvara as Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman? What can prevent us from reaching out to that Ishvara and asking for initially whatever help and support we need? But once that mumukshutam kicks in, ask, help me understand that knowledge which is moksha. That last stage is clear understanding of the fact that there is only I in the form of Chaitanya. There is nothing else. When you say is, it is only that, Satyam. But what prevents us from getting there so easily? One of the things that all Upanishads talk about, or many Upanishads talk about, and many gurus will talk about is don't have any desires. Upanishad doesn't say that, some gurus will say that. How can you not have desires? You're a human being. You're driven by an unknown force within a person which is looking for moksha jnanam. When we know we're looking for moksha jnana, we are mukshu. And we look for saying, where can I get this moksha jnana from? How can I get it? What is this moksha? But if one has not reached the state of mumukshutvam, that means one doesn't know that what I'm looking for is that moksha jnanam. Then also the person is doing exactly the same thing, saying, what can I do to get that something which I am missing? And reach the wrong conclusion that I'll get it by getting security. And more importantly, fulfilling all karma. Or sometimes punya papa, gaining lot of punya, which Shastra tells me is the passport, is the visa for getting to other lokas. Shastras also tell us that having gone to other lokas, we have no choice but to eventually come back into this Martya Loka. This karma is a very big thing. All kinds of karma are there, all varieties of karma are there. There is a karma desire for oneself. Oneself meaning in the form of this body, mind, sense complex. I want to be this, I want to do this, I want to have this. And I in all of them is ahankara. Maybe for others, for immediate family, for children, for parents, for the spouse, and then extending to others. Karma can be for them also. So people who say that I do selfless service also karma. This karma essentially belongs to this Karyakarana Sanghata and resides in the buddhi. Karma resides only in the buddhi. But without understanding, we say Atma requires this. Atma has this karma. Because Atma and the Karyakarana Sanghata are equate. Therefore, Atma requires this. Atma has this desire. And where does karma come from? Everybody recognizes, and that's the beauty of being a human being, that I am incomplete, apurnaha. But we look around, everybody is apurnaha. Therefore, we might even accept saying that apurnatvam is the norm. But even having accepted that Purnatvam is a norm, what is my purpose in life? Somehow, the state that I am in now, the state of Apurnatvam, can I raise it? Can I at least move another inch towards Purnatvam? Entire karma springs from this only. Because Apurnatvam is not what I want. Nobody wants Apurnatvam. I'm happy being Apurna, nobody will say. It's like saying, I want to be unhappy. It's a logical fallacy. If you want to be unhappy and you are unhappy, then you should be happy because you got what you want. Correct? Apurnatum is like that. Nobody wants Apurnatum. And we are running in the same spot, trying to move another inch closer to that unknown entity, unknown quality called Purnatvam. From here the karma arises. Everything we do, everything we acquire, every relationship we build is meant to move us another notch towards. Many times people in English will say fulfillment. Of what? What fulfillment? With Purnatvam, we are somehow saying, I have to get there, even though I don't know Purnatvam. I've never used the word Purnatvam in my life. I still know that somewhere I have to move forward. Otherwise, I'll be stagnant. People will argue. Nobody wants to be stagnant. So all the time we're trying to change status quo. How do I do that? So step one there is again Saguna Brahman. I make a lot of effort. After making a lot of efforts, I recognize it is not really taking me forward. Then I realize that something else is required that's missing. And I recognize Saguna Brahma Ishvara as Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, and reach out to that Ishvara. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Help me grow. Help me move forward. Help me improve. Help me remove all the blockages. Artha and Artharthi, Bhagavan says. One, I want this, I want this. Other is, I want to remove anything that creates a problem for me. And the root cause of all this is karma. Because unknowingly, we think this karma itself is a result of a wrong assumption. Somebody used a very beautiful phrase. Therefore, one has to have an intense desire to be desireless. How can you be desireless? You will have desires. What is the catch? A desire which pushes me into doing things which are detrimental to my objective. Those desires, which hold me back, which may bind me down, those desires. My desire is only one, moksha. Most people don't recognize that, don't know it. And Shruti and Ashakar often calls them mudaha, confused, deluded people, because they don't know what they want. Even if I know what I want, then also I have to understand what is going to get me that. I have to understand that it's only jnanam. No amount of karma-led karma is going to give me this. Therefore, we examine whatever happens to one and to others and arrive at the conclusion that this is what I have to get is akrita, not going to be gained by doing. And the doing springs from karma. And that karma springs from ignorance. So, how do I tackle this? Shastra handles in two ways. In many places in the Upanishads, you will see towards the end, we're also towards the end of Kathopanishad, says the phala of this jnanam is that all the karmas are destroyed. All the karma-driven karmas are destroyed. all the karma phalas are destroyed. That need to do something goes away. That is why you will find many times the Jagat will not understand you. People will come and ask you, hey, where are you going? Spending 10 hours a week in Vedanta classes. What are you gaining? Can you get a certificate? Can you get a salary increase because you got additional qualification? They can't see beyond that. That's all they can see. And a young fellow goes to Vedanta classes, attends regular classes 5 times a week in addition to whatever he is doing. And even his parents tell him, you think you're going to get a better bride because you've done a 3-year course? You're not going to get. What is the purpose of this? Because they don't understand. This karma driven by gaining something or the other within the loka, not recognizing that that is not what you want. Beautiful sloka and mundaka. Parikshilokan karmachatan brahmana nirvedamayat akritat kritena. Not going to be got by karma. So how do I get it? Tad vijnanatham gurumeva abhigatset. He goes to a guru. Because he recognizes that that moksha is jnanam. And that jnanam has to be got through a pramana. That pramana is Shastra pramana, Shabda pramana. And that has to be handled by a guru who can teach him with the grace of Ishvara. You will find, for example, in many of the prayers, any works in Vedanta, initial prayer will acknowledge both Ishvara and Guru. You take any prayer, both are required. Required to do what? To get rid of karma. So one way of looking at it from the other end, saying that the person who actually gains the jnanam does not have any more karma-driven karma. Therefore, no karma phala. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, no. All karmas are burnt away by jnanam. On the other hand, you can also say, when you are able to get rid of this karma, which keeps on becoming a nuisance for you in your quest, then you will gain what you're looking for. How to do this is to turn every karma into a non-binding karma. Remove the power of the karma to get a grip on you. So everything you do, okay, there is a karma. Any action you do, there is definitely a design behind it to achieve a certain end. But having done that, then you put in your best effort and don't worry about the end. What a beautiful way of saying this. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You've done all your work, you've done your homework, you planned it, you made course correction. Then what happens, happens. That is Ishvara. So no karma-driven karma. Karma actually originates from avidya. No karma-driven karma is going to get me moksha. In these next 2 verses, next 2 mantras, Yamadharmaraja points this out in a concluding sense and says, when karma is, which is based within the buddhi, Based on the buddhi, because first buddhi has to have a certain jnanam of the karma, certain jnanam, however incorrect, of what the karma phala will be. Then the desire to get that phala, and then the effort, the karma that you do to gain that. Then also Bhagavan says, you may get, you may not get. You may get what you planned, you will get. You may get less than what you planned. You may get more than what you planned. You may get something completely different. All are possible. Once one takes that kind of an attitude, one that approach to this, a lot of things become easier. Many of the karmas will become non-binding, or what Swami used to call, whose fangs have been taken away. Defanged karmas. Once one takes this kind of control over karma, one is freed of karma. More than karma, one is freed of karma's hold on one. Then one is ready for moksha jnanam. Otherwise, this karma is such a it keeps on pulling you away from what you need. Dharmada says, let's read the verses. We'll read the two together. Yada sarve pramuchyante
यदा सर्वे
सर्वे
प्रमुच्यन्ते
प्रमुच्यन्ते
kama yesya hridishritaha
कामायेष्य
कामायेष
हृदिश्रिताः
हृदिश्रिताः
samartyo mruto bhavati
अथ
अथ
मर्त्यो
मर्त्यो
मृतो
मृतो
भवति
भवति
atra brahma samashnute
अत्र
अत्र
ब्रह्म
yada
ब्रह्म
समश्नुते
समश्नुते
sarve prabhidyante
यदा
यदा
सर्वे
सर्वे
प्रविद्यन्ते
प्रविद्यन्ते
मूलतो विनाशः sorry, is it wrong line? यदा सर्वे प्रभिद्यन्ते
यदा
यदा
सर्वे
सर्वे
प्रविद्यन्ते
प्रविद्यन्ते
इदयस्वेह ग्रन्थयः
हृदयस्य
हृदयस्य
ग्रन्थयः
ग्रन्थयः
अतमर्थो मृतो भवति
अथ
अथ
मर्त्यो
मर्त्यो
मृतो
मृतो
भवति
भवति
एतावद्यनुशासनम्
एतावद्यनुशासनम्
एतावदनुशासनम्
Beautiful. Etavad Anushashanam. This is the teaching. That is all the teaching. Yamadharmanaja is really bringing it to a conclusion. This is all the teaching. What is the teaching? Atra Brahma Samushnate. You recognize yourself as Brahman. Tattva Bhavaha we saw. When? When all those things which are preventing you from seeing that have been taken care of, have been controlled. And what are those? Kama. Sarve kama. Every kama which has the power to bind you, which has the power to distract you, which has the power to pull you away from your goal, all those kamas. Like I said, the kama can be for the I recognize as body mind sense complex. It can be for somebody else. It can be for something else. It can be for completely unknown people. Still kama. Sarve kamaha yada, when sarve kamaha pramuchyante. Muchyante. Are freed from. Freed from meaning freed from the grip of these kama. When all these kamas have been defanged. When yada sarve kamaha pramuchyante. What kind of kama? Where is the kama? It is not in the Atma. It is in the buddhi. It's a thought. All kamas are thoughts. Ye asya hridishvritaha, which is the locus of which is in the hridi, it says, in the heart, but not a physical heart. Buddhi, Bhashyakara will talk about this. It's a thought. All kamas are thoughts. Those thoughts, when one becomes freed of those binding thoughts, binding kama, then what happens? Atha, then martyaha amrito bhavati. One who is subject to death and rebirth and death and rebirth and death and rebirth becomes amritaha. Look into the meaning of this. What is mrityaha? Fall of the sharira is mrityaha. That is mrityu. But become amritaha. I don't take responsibility for the sharira. I have nothing to do with the sharira. This sharira is also I, but I am not the sharira. Then what happens? I dissociate with the sharira. Sharira can be born, not born. It does have nothing to do with me. That recognition when that happens, because everything else is shut out from the system, that recognition is all that is required to be called Amrita, because then what is left is only Atma. Unborn, Ajaha, Amrita Atma. Therefore, I now am no more associated with a particular body. Atha, Martyaha, the one who is subject to death, Amritaha bhavati. Dissociates with the body mind sense complex, what is left is only Atma. And that Atma is Amritaha. That Atma is I. And once you reach the state Atra, then Brahma Samashnute. Ash Dhatu. One gains, one receives, one gets. Samashnute. Literally one can translate it as one gains Brahman. You don't gain Brahman, you gain knowledge of Brahman as I. You are Brahman. You only recognize yourself. When all desires that are stuck to the buddhi, stuck in the buddhi, will therefore keep directing us in the wrong direction most of the time. When you dissociate yourself from those desires, take out their power to take you away from where you want to go, they're completely destroyed. Destroyed means their power is destroyed. Then what was then mortal, subject to death, becomes independent of time. Because it is Brahman. He gains Brahman atra, right here in this janma, in this sharira. You dissociate yourself with the sharira, and within the sharira you recognize Brahman as I. That is what called Jivan Mukti. Bhashyakara explains this. Evam
एवं
Paramatma Darshanaha
परमार्थदर्शनः
परमार्थदर्शिनः
Yada Yasmin Kale
यदा
यदा
यस्मिन्
यस्मिन्
काले
काले
Sarve Kamaha
सर्वे
सर्वे
कामाः
कामाः
Amayityasya Anyasya Abhavat
कामयितव्यस्य अन्यस्य
अन्यस्य अभावात्
अभावात्
Pramuchyante
प्रमुच्यन्ते
मुच्यन्ते
Iryante
विशीर्यन्ते
वीर्यन्ते
Evam. Thus, in this manner, Paramatma Darshinaha, the one who Tattva Darshinaha, Samyak Darshinaha, one who recognizes Brahman as I, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. Yada, when they recognize this, then Yada must be followed by Tada, that will also come. Yada means Yasmin Kale, when, at the time when. Sarve Kamaha. What is Kama? Bhashyakara explains, Kamayityasya Anyasya Abhavat. There is a very funny expression. Kamayityasya Anyasya Abhavat. What is deserving to be desired? There is nothing in the Jagat. Think about it. Everything that I desire is meant to give me a little comfort, physical comfort, emotional comfort, some intellectual comfort perhaps. But is that what you need? Is that what you want to gain? It's all time bound. It is all space bound. You don't want that. You want something which is independent of time, independent of space. You want to be able to gain that without any reference to time or space. All the time, even if you take, in the Loka, we talk about time as being past, present, and future. Without reference to time and place, if I can gain what I want, that little extra comfort that again, if I can be made permanent, because not permanent, I know that. It won't last. That is moksha. But you take it even one step higher, not just in the Trikala, past, present, and future. Trikala Atita, because Kala doesn't exist. Kala itself is a non-self-existing entity. Therefore, Kamayityasya Anyasya Abhavat. There is no such thing as that which is to be desired. All those kamas, when you recognize that and you're freed from them, pramuchyante. You're freed from all the kamas, all the power of the kamas to hurt one. And the hurting is in the form of not allowing one to recognize Purnatvam. All kamas force one to remain apurnaha. Even if I achieve that kama, I'm still apurna. So kamas will only prevent one from gaining purnatvam or recognizing purnatvam. Therefore, yada, when a paramatma darshinaha, tattva darshinaha, sarve kamaha pramuchyante, vishiryante. Pramuchyante means freed off, vishiryante. When they lose their bite, vishiryante is another nice word that Bhashyakara uses. When they're broken, when they are power is removed, power is dissolved, taken away. Then what happens? Ye asya prak pratibodhat
ये अस्य प्राक् प्रतिबोधात्
vidushaha hridihi not hridihi
विदुषः हृदि
buddhau
बुद्धौ
shrita ashritaha.
श्रुता
श्रिता
आश्रिताः
आश्रिताः
These kamas, ye kamaha, these asya ye kamaha of this person, prak pratibodhat, before recognition of the truth. Vidushaha hridihi, hridihi means buddhau. Many places hridaya is used for buddhi, which is upalabdhi sthanam. Buddhau shritaha ashritaha. The hridishritaha comes from the moolam. Bhashyakara says, buddhau ashritaha, which has its locus in the buddhi, being just a thought. Why do you say that? Why do you say kamas reside in the buddhi? Why do you say kamas one has to look for in the buddhi? For that also he gives some pramana. He quotes from Shruti again. Buddhihi
बुद्धिः
kamanam ashrayah
कामानाम्
आश्रयः
na atma.
न
न
आत्मा
आत्मा
What is the thing, sir? Kamaha sankalpaha
कामः
कामः संकल्पः
ityadi shrutyantarascha.
इत्यादि
इत्यादि
श्रुत्यन्तराश्च
श्रुत्यन्तराश्च
Kama is only a sankalpa. It resides in the antakarana. And he quotes from Kathopanishad. The full quote is Kamaha sankalpo vichikitsa shraddha ashraddha dhritihi adhritihi hrihi dhrihi brihi ityetasm sarve manaha eva. All these feelings, thoughts, ideas, desires, all of them reside only in the buddhi. He only takes us one. Kamaha sankalpaha. Vichikitsa is doubt. Shraddha, ashraddha, everything, all of them reside in the buddhi. Therefore, he quotes saying that therefore kama is only in the buddhi. Don't think kama is in the atma. Buddhihi kamanam ashrayah na atma. Atma has nothing to do. Atma cannot have any kama. Atma is not one which is subject to any kama. Kamaha sankalpaha quote ityadi shrutyantarascha. He started by saying yada, when yasmin kale sarve kamaha kamayityasya anyasya bhavat buddhihi.
बुद्धिः
We've done that already. Sorry.
Yeah.
Atha
अथ
अथ
tada martyah
तदमर्त्यः
prak prabodhat asit
प्राक्प्रबोधात्
प्राक्प्रबोधात् आसीत्
tha. The individual, yada, when he loses the kamas, takes care of the power of the kamas, tada, then what happens? The mortal, the martyah, prak prabodhat asit. You are martyah before knowledge. Why? Because before knowledge arises, my connection, my linkage with Karyakarana Sanghata is so strong that I think of myself as the Karyakarana Sanghata, as this body, mind, sense complex. Thula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Ityadi. And therefore, before I gain this knowledge that that's a wrong assumption I have made, when I gain that knowledge, till then I am Martya. I am subject to birth and death because the body is subject to birth and death. And if I identify myself with the body, mind, sense complex, I am subject to birth and death. But when I recognize myself, I is not the body, mind, sense complex. The confusion comes because every body, mind, sense complex, every non-body, mind, sense complex in the Jagat is nothing but I. But I is not any of these. Therefore, the confusion. So, Prak Prabodhat Martyah Asit. He was a mortal. Later, what happens? Saha
Saha
Prabodha Uttara Kalam
प्रबोध
Prabodha
उत्तरकालम्
Uttaraकाlam
Avidya Kama Karma Lakshanasya
अविद्या
अविद्या
Avidya
कामकर्मलक्षणस्य
Kamakarmalakshyanasya
Mrityoha Vinashat
मृत्योः
Mrityoho
विनाशात्
Vinashat
Amrito Bhavati.
Amrito
भवति
Bhavati.
Four jnanam arises. What is the jnanam? That I is not the body, mind, sense complex. Before that, what is the assumption? I am the body, mind, sense complex. As long as I have that assumption, I am an ajnani, I am subject to death and birth because I think body is I. I think I am the body or I is the body. Therefore, when the body dies, I die. When the body hurts, I hurt. When the mind is agitated, I am agitated. Therefore, everything that happens to the body happens to I because of ajnana. Then what happens? Then same person after jnanam, prabodha uttara kalam. Jnanasya prabodha uttara kalam. After jnanam has arisen, and all the process that Yamadharmaraja has taught Nachiketa and through him, hopefully, to all of us, what is that jnanam? How do you recognize the jnanam? What is your source of knowledge? How do you recognize I as that Brahman? When I've gone through all that and that clarity has come, Swamiji, I've gone through the whole Upanishad and many Upanishads. I still can't get my hand on it. This impression that I am this body mind sense complex, I can't get rid of. Normal. So what does Shastra say? Continue to do Shravanam. Continue to do Mananam. Continue to do Nididhyasanam. You will certainly get it. The Shastra tells us. And since we accepted Shastra as a pramana, we will get it. When will I get it? Achirenadi. There is no time frame for this. Time itself we recognize as non-existent. Where is the time frame? Time frame belongs to Jagat. I want to transition out of the Jagat. Asamsari I want to be. Who is going to be a samsari? Not the Devadatta I recognize. He can never be a samsari. When I recognize the truth of I as Brahman, then a samsari. Prabodha Uttara Kalam, another very beautiful expression, Avidya Kama Karma Lakshanasya. This mrityu is what? Is characterized by avidya kama karma lakshanam. The individual who thinks he is a matyaha, mortal, where does it arise from? Avidya, kama, karma. Where is the root? Avidya. Wrong notion in one's mind. That avidya gives rise to kama. And that kama becomes a binding kama. That kama becomes the force which does not allow me to get rid of the avidya. That kama continues to become the problem for me. Avidya kama. What does it do? It makes me do something because I have avidya of the self. From that arises a kama to improve myself. Whether I want to improve my body, I go to the gym regularly. I want to improve my mind by doing Sudoku. I want to improve my ability to relate with other things, with situations. So I attend training programs. I want my mind to be calm. So I attend meditation sessions. I want more control over what's happening to me. Therefore, I attend vipassana. You know what vipassana is? One Guru Goenka, he started this. A lot of people go and gained significantly as far as the Jagat is concerned. 10 days of no talking, no newspaper, no news, no mobile phones, nothing, no radio, no mobile phone, no nothing. 10 days of absolute communing with oneself. Vipassana. I have not tried it, but for most people it won't be very easy, certainly the first time. You know, how space astronauts are trained, very strict, very rigorous training. Among this rigorous training is one training where they are left in a room all by themselves. And I think he said no lights also there. This one of the astronauts told me. Food is slipped into the room twice or thrice a day. Nobody to talk to, no TV, no newspaper, no mobile phone, no nothing for 10 days. They stay there on their own. You do all that because you think you want to improve your mind, improve your... Which is very valid as far as the Jagat is concerned. I'm not saying it's invalid. But all this arises out of the source, which is avidya. When you recognize your Purna, then what do you want to improve? You can't improve. Purna cannot be improved. Nothing you can do to improve anything. You add anything to Purna, it remains Purna only. It doesn't become anything big, more or less. You take away anything from Purna, it remains the same. It doesn't become less or more. Purnamada, Purnamidam, we say every time in every class, we say that. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purna, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Whatever you do, you add something Purna, it remains Purna. You take out something Purna, it remains Purna. When one recognizes that as the self, as the nature of the self, what karma do you have to do? What do you have to achieve? All achievements. That I'm not saying please don't go and do things in the Jagat to achieve things in your work or in any other achievement, but recognize them. Hands off. Let that happen. Very happy it happened. With Ishvara's grace, I got a promotion. With Ishvara's grace, I came first in class. With Ishvara's grace, I won a certain tournament. I practiced very hard for it. But what won that tournament? Who got that promotion? Was it I? Examine that. Bhaskara says, Saha Prabodha Uttarakalam Avidya Kama Karma Lakshanasya Mrityoho. This Mrityoho of the Mrityu Vinashat. Why is it Vinashat? Because you've removed the avidya, there's no karma, there's no karma, because avidya made me do all these things. I have recognized myself as Purnaha. No more karma, no more karma. No more linking with the body, mind, sense complex. That body will fall away. Today, tomorrow, next year, 10 years later, fall away. But I don't fall away. You go back to Nachiketa's original question. Is there something after the death of the body that continues? Yes. I. Now you recognize that I as Atma, Brahman. So then what happens? Body, mind, sense complex falls. It is Matyaha. I does not fall. I is I, remains. Ajaha and no anta. Mrityoho vinashat. Because of the non-existence of a mrityu. Mrityu is gone with the body. What happened? Amrito bhavati. What is left is only amrita. Amrito bhavati. You know, when will come in the next, I think, couple of mantras later, there's a whole process of gamanam. When the body dies, the sukshma sharira leaves the sthula sharira. And there is some theory about how it leaves. It's there in the Shastra. From where from the body does it leave? Where does it go? Is a prayana, travel. Whole of 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita talks about it. Shukla Gati, Krishna Gati, and so on. But for the I, which is unborn, where is the travel? There is no travel. Can't have travel. So it's Gamana Prayojakasya
गमनप्रयोजकस्य
Mrityur Vinashat
मृत्योर्विनाशात्
Gamana Anupapatehe Pattehe
गमन
अनुपपत्तेः
अनुपपत्तेः
Gamana Prayojakasya Mrityor Vinashat Gamana, there is no Gamanam. Once Mrityus itself negated, where is the question of Gamanam? Where is the question of travel, movement? There is no movement, there is no travel. Therefore, Gamanam Anupapattehe. Any travel it doesn't fit in here. There is no travel. Travel is only as long as avidya is there and we still associate ourselves with the body, mind, sense complex. The body dies, but I continue to take another janma in another body. Therefore, I have to travel to perhaps another loka where I'll get another body, spend some time in that loka, come back, eat yet another body, appropriate for each loka. But once one recognizes this, the body itself has nothing to do with me. I am not the body, mind, sense complex. then don't travel in boat. All travel, even according to the Shastra, is only till you gain knowledge. Mrityu vinashat gamana anupapattehe atra ihaiva pradeepa nirvanavat
Pradeepa Nirvana
sarva bandhana upashamat
Sarva Bandhana Upashamat
brahma samushnate
Brahma Samushnate
brahmaiva bhavati ityarthaha.
Brahmaiva Bhavati Ityarthaha.
We'll take up the sentence in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Swamiji.
Om Swami.
Om Swami.